Yo, it's your man L. Today is a special treat for me. I get to interview and talk with B. Cole, man. 30 years in the game. I'm talking about I'm in love with a crackhead, the movie A Get Together. He gonna tell us all the stories, man, that we can cram into this 30, 45 minutes. But we talking about 30 years, man. Y'all better roll with me, man. Finna have a blast. Bro. You out here looking like, get over here.
Welcome to the Batcave.
This the Batcave, bro?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yo, this is comedian B. Cole, and you're watching Soul of Comedy, hosted by L. Make sure y'all get in tune. This the one.
Soul of Comedy, man. Episode 4 with my man, 100 grand, B. Cole.
What's up, man?
How you
What's
feeling,
going on?
bro?
L, you the man. I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. I started knowing what I wanted to do in high school because I was, cracking jokes. I was known to be a funny guy in school, and I had that reputation of. And the lunchroom cafeteria is my comedy club, So it was like I was cutting classes, going to other people's lunch periods to entertain them. They were booking me in the cafeteria, so booking me, man, and getting, they're like, hey, man, I need you for 6-period lunch. On Thursday, I like, well, man, I'm upstairs in Beta House, so I can't do that because, we had different houses at Julian High School, Percy L. Julian.
Yeah. Shout out Julian.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Jaguars, man. That's why I got my start, my first audience, and I had that notoriety within that school, just them number of people, like they knew of me of being a funny dude. So right after high school, man, I tried to go to college. I wanted to go to college, and my father shot that shit down. You know what I'm saying? I was like, Dad, I want to go to college. And he's like, you ain't college material. And I was like, damn, and he hit me with that. But that's what kicked off my journey. And I was like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and pursue comedy. And you know what? I didn't even get into comedy for comedy. I got into comedy for acting because I saw a lot of comedians do that, such as Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, cats like that. So I was like, nah, I'm about to do that. So that's why I did comedy. And then next thing you know, it just became my life,
Dope.
Oh, wow. First stage I hit, man, it was Black Friday, 1991, day after Thanksgiving. At the South Shore Culture Center, right there on 71st and Yates, all the way at the end on the east side. So yeah, they were doing a showcase every Friday night called The Studio, and it was a house MC named Don Harper. And Don Harper, he wasn't a comedian, but he was just an MC. He was introducing the acts, do his little thing in between. It was music acts, it was comedians and
poets.
Oh man, it was a variety, and it's like this my first time really getting out the neighborhood, going somewhere and seeing this for the first time, just seeing this like magnificent talent here in the city by different performers. I met a few comedians there, and actually the first day that and I was going there maybe like I went like 2 weeks just to scope it out, before I actually got on stage. That third week, which fell on Black Friday in 91, I decided to go up and did my first joke. And once my first joke hit, that was it. I didn't want to leave that place. You know what I'm saying? I was back every week, till I became that crowd's favorite. Where the host, shout out to Don Harper, he told me, man, you got to get out of here. Like I was kind of feeling bad, like man, go. You can't stay here no more. He's like, I want you to go see somebody, man. He wrote a name down. He said, go to the Cotton Club and ask for this dude, man. I'm already had you set up. And it was Bernie Mac. That's the first time I sat and watched a real comedy show with a real headliner like Teddy Carpenter, Bernie Mac hosting. And I think my man James Hanna was the feature act, but R. Kelly was there. He was like chilling, like this before I even know who Kells was. I just saw all these girls around him at the bar, like, man, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And but like I said, like the time I started is when everybody was breaking out.
Were they older than the bar?
Yeah, they was. I know it's gonna get her. I know you was gonna get her.
I'm sorry,
Boy,
Rob.
you stupid, man. But they were crazy about that dude, man. I was just like, who is this dude? So like during that time when I came out, started doing comedy, this is when everybody was just having a breakthrough, man. Like Chicago was really getting put on the map, man. Just with entertainment all around. My first movie I did was I'm in Love with a Crackhead, short film. Grabbed my buddies up, man, and my buddies at the time were all the players, man. You know what I'm saying? My man Cootie, me and him went we went to high school together. Me and Cootie, Deion Cole, Ray Lepowski, Mark Simmons and Marlon Mitchell, the heavy hitters here in Chicago, man. And that was my whole thing. Let's build this platform, man. Let's get our own thing going. And that's what it was, man. It was even Lil Rel's first time ever in front of a camera with I'm in Love with a Crackhead. I invited him to the set, and he was doing comedy maybe like just 2 months or so, you know. And I saw him at Riddles when D.R.A. was doing Riddles on Sunday. And I was about to leave, and he asked me to stay. Like, hey, B. Cole, Lil Rel, man, you know, fan, and I want to know if you can stay and watch me perform and stuff. And I was like, all right, man, I'm gonna stay and watch, you know, because he was a little cool dude. Say watching me perform, I was like, wow, you know, he's good. So told him he was good, man. I was like, man, you know, I'm filming this movie right now. I'm in Love with the Crackhead, film my movie. He's like, what? I was like, yeah. I was like, come to the set tomorrow, man, come through. And he came, and I found a little part for him, you know. And, you know, Dawn B, she was the crackhead in the movie. Her name was Anna Mae, and she was the crackhead in the movie. So I needed a stunt. I created this stunt double, and I put him in the clothes that she was in and made him the obvious stunt double. You know what I'm saying? So when there's the stunt double, it turned into Lil Rel. He's like, oh shit, you know. And you know, he had to run, and Deion had to tackle him, and Mark Simmons tackled him. So that was his first time. And honestly, I guess I was the first director, the producer, to put him in drag on film, because he had to be in the skirt and all that stuff, you know, like the crackhead. But we had fun doing it, man. But that was my thing. I come from the mindset of Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans. I'm a student of them, you know. So I've seen how they put a lot of people on from the things that they've created. You know, we wouldn't know a lot of people without them guys. You wouldn't even know, Jamie Foxx or Tommy Davidson or David Allen Greer and John Witherspoon, stuff like that. And we had that in Chicago, and I was like, that's exactly what I want to do here. So I created I'm in Love with a Crackhead. I'm in Love with a Crackhead was it catapulted me to my next film that I was able to get funding to shoot a whole entire feature, and it involved everybody, and that was the movie A Get Together. And I did the movie A Get Together, and got everybody involved, and man, you know, this was the thing. It became a Chicago classic comedy film. I was real humbled when I got a phone call from Kid Capri. You know, and Kid Capri called me out of the blue, and he just wanted to thank me for putting him in a movie, because I put Kid Capri in my movie Get Together. Yeah. I asked him. I saw him out at a party one night, and I was like, man, I would love to have you in this movie, man. You know, if you do this movie for me, he just said, yeah. He easily.
He was
yes.
in town, yeah.
He's like, yeah, and not even that he was in town, because I wasn't even filming it. It was like months prior to it. Oh. So he had to come back in town. He had to put him up. So I had to pay for him to do all that, but it doesn't matter. I'm getting Kid Capri in my movie.
Right.
To play a part that he's known to play. He's the DJ in the movie. You feel me?
Yeah.
So having him in that, it was cool, but not realizing that I actually had Kid Capri in my movie, because when he called me to thank me that for putting him in, and he reminded me, he said, B, you the only comedian that ever put me in a movie. Like, I worked with everybody.
Right.
I was from Martin Lawrence to Bernie Mac to Chris Tucker. Everybody. Not one person asked me to be in a movie. And that's when it hit me. I didn't realize it till he brought it up to me. I'm like, wow. I'm like, you right. You ain't never been in no movie, and you worked with a lot of the greats, you know.
Yeah.
Yo, D, I just seen what happened, man. Look, you need to buy some high heels and a purse, because you went out like a bitch. I can't To get you know better than to hit him. Oh. Halls ain't about to hit no pimp, D. It's in the book. Oh. Man, you know what, man? It's all your fault, man. You wanted all this. You wanted a house party, man. D, I can't take shit. That bitch knocked the taste out my mouth, D.
This song is dedicated to the stupid motherfucker that got cut off by his girl and confronted by his ex-girl for calling another girl's name doing phone sex. You gotta be the dumbest motherfucker in captivity. Stupid motherfucker.
How would you construct a joke?
Well, man, with me, the joke, of course you find the premise, then there is a beginning, middle, and ending to a joke. My writing method, everybody got different methods on how they write a joke, deliver a joke, you know what I'm saying? So it's different, but with my method, man, I come up with something, it's called the rules of three, with some things, you know what I'm saying? So it's like with my jokes, it gotta flow like a song, like a lyric. You gotta have the right amount of syllables in it. You can't have a lot of syllables where it throw the rhythm off. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a word that has 3 syllables, but if you can use a synonym for that, a word that's like got the same meaning but less syllables, that's shorter, use that because it's all in rhythm. So that's where timing comes in. You know what I'm saying? So you can do a joke. Eddie Murphy can write you a joke, but if you don't know how to deliver it and got that timing, it ain't gonna work. I just talk about a lot of stuff, things that I went through, experienced, and sometimes I can watch TV or the news, something will spark an idea, but I stay away from current events. I stay away from jokes that will be old and you can't use no more. You know what I'm saying? I never talked, like I was doing comedy when the OJ trial was going on. And when I was doing open mics, it was 10 comedians and 9 comedians was doing OJ jokes. But I come up there, I was always that comedian, think outside the box, I created the joke Head Day, where Head Day is considered a holiday. I don't say nothing,
it's not even explicit.
Not explicit.
I've heard you tell that joke a million times. You can tell that joke in front of the church, but not really. Let me ask you, life story jokes. How do you feel about those?
Sometimes I take some reality and mix it with some fiction and create this masterpiece joke. Like it's like, okay, it's some reality to it, but of course I'm gonna enhance it and make it a little more, funnier or whatever. But that's your routine. That's your inspiration right there. Your life. So you take your life now. If somebody steal that from you, anything you create from that, they stealing your life away from you. You know what I'm saying? I was doing comedy for a year before I was invited to do BET's Comic View.
How did that happen?
Comic View was in town in Chicago, so they lined up like 20 comedians out of Chicago, and you can name everybody. They was in the lineup. They only chose 2 people. They chose me and Robert Hines. So yeah, Rob Hines. So they chose us 2. And we went and did Comic View. That was my first time out of Chicago, first time on television, first time in California, first time on the plane. It was just the first time everything for me. Sometimes I look back like, man, I should have not went. Really? Sometimes you have to tell yourself the truth and be honest with yourself if you're really, really ready. And I didn't know like how the phones was just gonna ring after that, how to, promoters and people around the country was calling, because that's all we had was television. We had the Comic View and the Def Jam. That and the magnitude at that time is just like, yo, if you see anybody on that box, because we didn't have no other.
There wasn't no internet. Wasn't no YouTube,
none of that.
No Instagram.
You just had the tube in your living room. You know what I'm saying? That's it. And when I was on there, that's when. And you go in there and have a good set. That's when everybody was just calling, and I was getting work around the country. So I'm going everywhere and called the headline. And man, it was a struggle on the road, my first time on the road, because I didn't have headlining time. Yeah, I do my 20 minutes, and then now I'm just like, everybody just like, yo, and I'm looking at them like, yo, what's up, and I had my 20. So I just winged it for the last 25 minutes and stuff like that. And some of them I survived, but some of them was just more like, it was a struggle, and you don't want to struggle doing your set. You want to have a just nice, smooth, all the way set. So I removed myself from the road.
So you stopped taking bookings?
Yeah, I stopped taking bookings. Comic View was calling me back season after season. I turned them down 3 years in a row after that. And then when I turned them down 3 years in a row, that's what, during that time, I went back to basics. I was in the lounges. I was doing all the lounges and clubs in Chicago. And then when I went back after 3 years to do Comic View, that's when you got the I'm in love with a crackhead. You got the, gang banging in the wind, some signature jokes that I had on it that everybody will always, come up to me and say that it's their favorite.
I've been going through some problems these past few days, and it has been over a woman. And just gonna say it. From a hard day's work, I come home. Turn on my lights, all my shit is gone. I'm in love with a crackhead. Every night she's smoking a pipe. Hate to admit that she's a hype. I gotta sleep with my clothes on, with my shoes tied tight, cause she can steal. I'm in love with a crackhead. I thought I had a winner, but man, she's just a sinner. I can't watch TV cause she's smoking the antenna. I'm in love with a crackhead. But I ain't mad and I ain't got no beef, cause I remember the good old days when she used to have teeth. But I gotta take her to the rehab, this I know I should, cause she walking through the hood still thinking she look good. But she's a disaster, she's a mess. I got more hair on my chest than she got on her head, but she'll end up dead. But to her, I said, I won't let her, I'll make it more better. Baby, you and I, we can walk through this together. So it ain't no reason to hotwire that Volkswagen Jetta. We can walk. See, my mama don't like it. My mama, she into that voodoo. And mama gonna put a hex on her ass for smoking mama's pet poodle. Cause everything she see white, she think it's crack. That's why I be wondering about the milk cartons with the missing white kids on the back. I'm in love with a crackhead.
Everything I've done in this business, I had to earn it. Because nobody was, just giving it up for me or, mentioning me in meetings and rooms. Like, saying, I needed those type friends. I needed those type people who would mention me when I'm not even in a room or meeting, who just believe in my talent, stuff like that. But it's a lot of cats who were afraid to say my name in a room. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how that may spin. Or, they just didn't want me to come in and take the shine or whatever. There's a comedian right now, big time comedian, everybody knows. I'm not saying no names, but he admitted to me that he was jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a sincere, heartfelt conversation. We were in Japan touring, and we in another country, just me and him. And as we on the bus going from Okinawa to Tokyo, we on the bus, and it's just me and him on the bus, on the tour bus, And he just told me, man, he just like, man, I was jealous of you, man. I used to see you on TV, boom, boom, boom. And just told me, and basically kind of with an apology, And I commended him. I'm like, man, dude, that's big of you to say that. I'm like, wow, I didn't even have an idea. And for him to tell me that, I don't know if that was something for him that he had to do to release and clear his spirit, but he did it. And he's went off and done other things.
Let's talk about how the business
has affected the family life. You know, because it's a balance, right?
It's a
With
balance.
any business that you're doing, especially when you're doing something that's not normal 9 to 5 every day. I got a certain time I'm going to go to work and come home.
Right.
You know, like a marriage and being a father, right, is not the easiest thing in the world to do. I love it. Let me say this. Most rewarding thing on the planet is being a dad. Love my kids. My kids are awesome. But it's work.
It's work. It's a lot of work, man. And then when you have a dream, you know, dream before the family life.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a notch off every, you know what I'm saying, level of your dream that you're trying to achieve, man, because you got to, you know, you got to attend to responsibilities now.
Yeah.
But it's also times I did have to make choices and stuff like that, man. As where it's like I did miss a few recitals and, you know what I'm saying, birthdays. But my family just knew exactly who I am. They knew who I was and they know who I am now. But the thing is just that, you know, comedy in my career, it's always been my first love. But like I said, and that's before I had children. When I became a father, it was like, all right, cool. It's like now it's just comedy. Just like is when I get to it.
So you had the issues that the rest of us had when we had to come home and the old lady be like, "What you out there doing? You probably, you know, it ain't, you know."
Well, yeah, I mean, you go through that, but that's a root. You know, that don't have anything to do with your job. It's just the root of it, and it's trust. You know, you got to have a woman to trust you, and you know, and just respect what you do. And the jealousy and the insecurity, that's what got to be, you know, eliminated from the relationship in order for it to work. And yeah, I had my problems here and there, stuff like that, but it was because of the trust, what was within the relationship. You know, didn't have anything to do with my job, anything, but it's just the fact that, yeah, we work nights, we late, we come in late, stuff like that. You know, but it's like if you got somebody who don't understand that, then it's a whole problem. If someone who's at home insecure and all they doing is thinking and imagining what you're doing while you're not in the house because they don't have any business of their own, you know, you got to find you a woman with some business. And same for women, you just got to find a spouse who has business of their own. And they're attending to what they got going on, and they busy with what they're doing. You know, too busy to be figuring out what you doing while you handling your business. You know, so yeah, I mean, it all boiled down to trust and respect.
So we touched a little bit on, you know, one of them times where you was sitting outside, you was sitting in the crib in the high rise, watching everybody go to Martin first minute you wasn't invited. Tell me about some of them darker times. You know, it's 30 years, it's ups and downs. Tell me about some of them valleys, bro.
It was a lot of ups and downs. It got to a point when comedy was mentioned, my name wasn't mentioned in that no more. You know what I'm saying? Like when they mentioned comedy, I wasn't in that. You know, when they did a documentary on All Jokes Aside called Funny Business, I was through that whole process, through that whole little journey. I was nowhere mentioned in a documentary. You feel me? So it's like, man, all that stuff is like, you know, you try to have that tough skin and like you take it and be like, it's cool because I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm doing. But man,
it ain't cool.
That's it cuts deep.
Yeah.
You know, and just being left out of stuff, man. You know, I had people who I've seen, I can see today, who told me that they was a big fan of mine back then and probably look at me, don't even know who the hell I am. Man, I remember I was at a party, Judge Mathis, man. It's like, B. Cole, big fan, B. Cole, you know. And that was when I was at the height of B. Cole, you know, height of my career, Comic View and all that. And like I said, just being off the scene, I was off the scene for over a decade, man. But I was in a lab creating material, doing skits and all that stuff, man. Before it was an outlet for these sketches. I was showing my skits inside the nightclub, on the screen, introducing comedians in between, you know what I'm saying? I was doing that before Dave Chappelle, you know? Yeah. But the thing is, I saw Judge Mathis later on, man, like some years back, maybe about 5 years ago. Man, he didn't even know who I was, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like that, just like, wow, you know, how people see you face value.
The worst thing in the world is to be famous and broke.
Yes, because I lived it. I couldn't go anywhere without people questioning me, like, why am I here? Why you in Jewel? Why you shopping here? Like, I got groceries. What the fuck you talking about? You know, I gotta eat. You know,
Let me get some
right? So it was one time. I remember I pulled over at the gas station because you know gas is high in the city, right?
Yeah.
High as hell. And I was driving the Astro van, and I went and got gas station. I jumped off on 43rd so I can make it out to the Indiana to get the cheap gas.
Right.
Nigga, I got $5 on the pump, and then as I was walking out, they're like, "That's B Cole," and then somebody like, "Not paying $5 for gas, it ain't." I'm like, see that type of shit. So, right, so I'm measured by what I drive, what I spend. So that really it pissed me off. So I was like telling Comic View like, "Yo, y'all gotta pay more money, man." Looking at the New Edition story, you know what I'm saying? It made I related so much to that. And you don't know these things. You just see them doing their thing as entertainers and how talented they are. And you just like, man, these guys are living on top of the world. It also didn't make me feel too bad. I was like, nigga, if Ralph Tresvant was broke, nigga, Ralph, nigga, I'm good. Nigga. Right. If Ralph and Bobby Brown had to split $2 from a royalty check, nigga, I'm good. Nigga, I'm good. Nigga. Little did people know that when you went and did television, Comic View, they don't pay. They don't pay, man. So it's like,
so they just get you there.
They get you there. You know, they don't get you there. You even get yourself there. Nah, man, you gotta, and that's the thing. It's like going behind the curtain and seeing what it really is. Just like, oh, this is all smoke and mirrors right here. You know what I'm saying? So all the love and the everything that I was getting when I come home, this receiving the love because of this fame, I didn't even feel right accepting it because like that shit ain't real out in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's not what you think it is on that TV. During the Comic View days that I didn't want to, play by their rules, and I just saw how they was just doing us as comedians, dirty, It's crazy, man. Like with the money they were paying comedians, successful as that show was, comedians weren't getting paid, and I don't care who you saw on that show, from Don D.C. Curry to Cedric the Entertainer, some more, everybody was getting $150, and you had to fly yourself in and put yourself up.
Shit.
Come on, man. But see, now don't get me wrong, the first season after that and all that, the whole 9, like I'm good. Cause like, oh man, I'm investing in myself. I can do it, man. Bet I'm gonna buy my plane ticket, boom, boom, boom. But as you steady go along throughout the years, you're seeing how successful the show is, and they still doing the same thing. And like, dude, come on, I put 3 years into this show, and now you telling me I still got to get myself there. You still gonna pay me $150, and then not only that, now you guys incorporating models into the show. Y'all putting models in the show, and you guys are paying them scale and letting them eat before the comedians, and like it was crazy. Yeah, it was just like they treated the models better than the comics.
Actual talent
that was women models and male models, because what they did, they cast their audience. That's when Comic View to me started getting bad, because they started casting their audience, and it was models. So they wanted pretty faces, they wanted the pretty, gorgeous women, the nice looking men and all. But guess what? These people don't want to be on camera with their mouth wide open laughing, giving the real laugh. So they holding in. Yeah, your shit funny, but they gonna be cute and keep they, keep they, man. But cause when motherfuckers laugh, they laughing, they laugh, they stomping on the floor and everything. You know what I'm saying? You remember them Def Jam audiences and stuff like that?
They was jumping around, running in the wall.
Def Jam didn't play that. Def Jam, it was real grimy with New York flavor and everything. But with Comic View, the whole LA feel, stuff like that, I started getting a little, a little perturbed by it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man. Then they made it into a competition. There's like, instead of just having 3 comedians come up, do their thing, like how Def Jam did it. I always use Def Jam as the blueprint for a successful urban comedy show television. production.
Women scared to ask a man what he want once a year, 24 hours all that day, because they know it's going to be something pertaining to sex. They scared. Because you ask me what I want, I'm going to let you know, head day. Give me head day. I want head all day. Come on, no, come here. You're asking. Come here. You're so concerned. Where you going? Come here. Head day all day. We need a day like head day. I'm sorry. Come on, fellas. The only way we going to get it if you come on, we got to unite. If we unite, we did it. Head day. This is the day we must rise and come together. Rise and come together on head day. I mean, can you imagine head day? Woo! Boy, fellas, we be so excited we can't sleep on head day eve. Like, damn. Brother, I cannot sleep. You know why, right? Yeah, it's head day. I'm staying up. I only got 23 more hours. Fuck it. Head day will be the most quiet day on earth, too. Want to be quiet. Quiet day. No women talking. What you talking for? It's head day. No. I don't need to hear it, no. No talking. None of your phones ringing. None of your homies calling. I wish a brother would call me on head day. Don't call your friends on head day. I will curse your ass out. Like, hello? What you doing? Motherfucker, getting head. It's head day. What you want? Damn. For real? Yeah. Man. She said it was next week. No, it's today. It's head day, man. Man. She said it was sweetest day today. No, it's head day. Man. She ain't even here. She said she's gonna be out all day getting my sweetest day gift. Well, guess what, motherfucker? If your woman ain't with you on head day, she delivering gifts.
Laughter's good for the soul, man. Has anybody ever said to you, like, man, B, like, bro, you saved my life, or like I was having the worst month of my life, and I came here, and it's gonna be my last little album, and I was gonna end it all. Like, has anybody ever given you the confirmation that you was doing the right thing with your life, with your gift?
Over the years, man, I had a few people come to me, but it was one that really stuck out. Because there was times I had a married couple come to me and say the problem they was going through, but they wanted to get out and laugh together. They haven't laughed together like that in so many years, and it helped them, which is cool. But the one that really stuck out to me, man, I was doing a show in Minneapolis. I had a show in Minneapolis, and before the show, this guy came up to me, and he was like, "B, man," he's like, "You helped me get off crack." And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, man, I thought he was playing. He's like, no, bro, you really helped me get off crack. By your poem, I'm in love with a crackhead, man. He's like, when I saw that, I wanted to get off crack. And he said that his mom begged him to stop doing crack. His mom begged him, he wanted to get him off, she wanted him to get clean and all that. But unfortunately, his mom passed before he can do that. And he said, but what made him do that? Like, one day he was just sitting up, man, thinking about his mom. He was hurt. He wanted to look at some comedy to get his mind off of it. And then I came on with I'm in Love with a Crackhead. It came on television. And he said when he was hearing that poem, he just heard his mom talking to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just thought of his mom.
Yeah.
And he said that's the moment he decided to get clean. And I was like, wow. And dude, he looked well, he looked good. And then that same night, man, doing the comedy show, the host brought him to the stage to propose to his girlfriend. So he got married that night, that same night. He got engaged that same night. Yeah. But that was the one that really stuck out, man. For me to help somebody get off crack by that poem. If that's the only purpose for that poem to get on television, just for that person right there alone, that's satisfying for me.
People be on crack for 30 years.
Crack ain't designed to get off that motherfucker.
Your first bomb. How was that feeling? Cause like,
that was my first bomb, dude. Like, first real bomb. Well, I heard boos. Northern Illinois, they had a homecoming.
Okay.
And I told you I don't like going. I don't like doing, but man, baby, let's just go, man. You gotta be seen, man. Be on the, on the scene. It's homecoming, man. They got a Apollo show going on. And if you remember the radio personality here back in the day, Dr. Love, he was hosting an Apollo show in an auditorium in Northern Illinois. And man, this talent up there, they just boom. Talented people coming off the stage crushed, you know. And, you know, so they set it up for me to, man, like, be cold here, man, get some time and stuff, do some time. So I'm like, yeah, I do some time, get out there. I go out there and do some time. And, you know, Dr. Love bring me out, but it ain't as special guest, it ain't none of that. People think I'm part of the competition, you know.
Oh.
So when I go out just to, you know, say, man, you know, and there's a comedian in them type of competitions or whatever, them comedians, when you like that, when I came out, people were like, oh shit, you know, they knew I was, but I go out there and, you know, all it takes is one boo over here, it's gonna hit over here, it's gonna hit over here, it's gonna hit everywhere, it's come in like a tsunami and shit. It was just like, boo. And nigga, you know, first of all, I didn't want to be there.
Right.
Nigga, that drive home, we had an hour drive home, man. The car ride was quiet. Man, you know, it's like, you know, everybody knew I didn't want to come and shit, like, you know. So, bruh, it sent me home crying. I was driving, I'm in the car driving, because I'm thinking my career over now. Man, I get pulled over by the police. They pulled me over.
Hey, nigga, what's wrong with you?
Got the light in my face. Like, they like, what's what's wrong with you, man? I had a rough night and this night. He's like, man, just go on ahead, man, get out of here. But I end up quitting. I stopped doing comedy.
Really?
Yeah, I quit for 3 months. In
Damn.
3 months, I didn't even know I was gonna go back after 3 months. I quit, and I got a job at Blockbuster Video. I was like, man, let me, you know, I want to be this at least close to movie somehow.
You
you know.
youngins don't know nothing about
They don't know
Blockbuster Video.
Blockbuster Video, right? So it was funny, man, because it's like, man, all right, cool, because I'm a big movie buff and all that stuff. I was like, man, if I'm going to work a job, it was either going to be Sam Goody or Blockbuster Video. You know, Sam Goody was the record stuff, you know. I'm music and movies, that's me. So when I went to Blockbuster, man, working there 3 months, and I just started missing comedy. I was just missing it. I was like, man, I wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that one bomb will psych you out and make you think like everything you've done before that you ain't shit.
You ain't shit. Them people was laugh. Them was nice laugh. Them was courteous
Right.
laugh.
I was like, why did they lie to me? Why did they just, they laughed and this shit wasn't funny. I left Hollywood, man.
Yeah, talk about that. We've had these conversations before. You talked about like actually saying, nah, I'm cool on, you know, on what y'all talking about doing, and you know, the cocaine and the booty dilly dally, and that y'all, you know,
All that stuff, man, and all that stuff, what you hear, probably rumored and all that. I saw firsthand. I was there. I was there in the early 90s, man, as a young kid, you know what I'm saying? Like 19, 20 years old, 21, 22, roaming around Hollywood, you know what I'm saying, with a name, and you know what I'm saying,
Right.
people knew of me and everything.
Hot.
I was hot, man. Had a few meetings, you know what I'm saying, had some meetings that were cool, had some meetings that felt uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying, where it's like, okay, it's an agenda to this meeting right here.
yeah, they
you know?
trying to get you on the cast.
That type thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, say, all that stuff kind of turned me away from Hollywood. Like, man, dude, there's no secret out there. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it's like people who I came up with in Chicago, I knew who would get caught up out there and who would do good out there because they had the tendencies here in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And I don't say no names, but it's just like, yeah, nigga, you gonna go out there and be real big, nigga. You know, they gonna love you out there.
Love you, nigga.
They offered me Homeboys from Outer Space. Remember that show, Homeboys from Outer Space?
Yeah.
It went to Flex and the Daryl Bell.
Okay.
You know, but they wanted, I remember it was me and it was Mel Jackson up for it.
Oh, they want the two lights.
They wanted like, so, but me and Mel, we didn't have enough star power at that time because Daryl Bell just came off a different world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he was on there. So, but it was a lot of stuff that was came my way, man, scripts on the table and stuff like that that I didn't take or do. But it was one offer that I had that I was going to do, and it was to do a sitcom, write the pilot, star in the pilot, and it was for Heavy D. You know, rest in peace to Big Head.
Yeah.
And it was Heavy D. They wanted to create a sitcom for him because Will Smith had Fresh Prince and LL just got in the house. So the man who put us together, man, Don Cornelius, you know, the late Don Cornelius. He
Really?
Yeah, he put us together. But yeah, man, like, even Vibe. Remember the show Vibe with Chris Spencer?
Yeah,
Man.
Shout out to Chris Spencer.
Chris Spencer, yeah. So Don wanted me to do Soul Train because he wanted to find a young host for Soul Train, and that didn't happen. That ended up going to Maestro Clark. Maestro Clark, after him, it was what's my man, Shamar Moore. And then I came back home and I auditioned for Barbershop. And this was my turning point right here. When I auditioned for Barbershop, me and Deon Cole, we auditioned together. We auditioned for we was reading the lines for the role that Anthony Anderson and Lamar Tate played when they stole the ATM. And that was me and Deon auditioning for that. And I was like, man, that'd been cool if it was me and D, you know what I'm saying? That'd been super cool.
At the crib?
At the crib.
Oh, that would have been cool.
That was cool. But like, we didn't get it, of course. And they gave Deon like a little speaking role. And they asked me like, you want to be an extra? I'm like, that's cool, you know. So I ended up being an extra as a customer. And I was an extra for one day because I was just seeing how everything was run. And I was like, man, I can't do this. I want to do my own shit. So I just like, it inspired me to just do my own movie.
Do you feel like you did the right thing?
Well, if I would have took another, it's only two directions you go. It's a fork in the road. You know what I'm saying? If I would have took that direction, I'd probably be successful, but probably wouldn't be comfortable with myself. You know, not being able to sleep at night and look you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, because in the industry, man, you gonna go through some stuff to get that bag. You know what I'm saying? Some people can get the bag immediately, and somebody can work hard and wait their turn, and the bag gonna come. There's a lot of impatient cats out there who want it now, and they gonna go for that bag. And to get that bag, and when they see you coming like in a desperate way, and that you wanted that bad, then they know they got you. You know, like with Monique, I knew Monique was gonna be blackballed just from the first incident. Before she was even labeled blackballed, I just knew, because like, you can't say no too many times in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You say no, now you become a troublemaker. You know, that's how you labeled as like, oh, he's a troublemaker. He's no. And then once people hear that, you know, nobody gonna mess with you.
We are in a city that mourns daily. For as beautiful as this backdrop is,
that sun coming out too, beautiful.
As beautiful as the renovated buildings, the historical buildings that have been renovated and stuff, all of that is here in the city. We mourn daily around here, bro. How has that affected you through the years as a comedian? Like when you get up on a Monday after a weekend of shows and you hear numbers like, you know, 60 people were shot, 20 died, that type of thing. Every fucking
it's very heartbreaking, because doing some of them reports, man, I've known people personally.
Yes, me too.
Actually, man, comedians who got caught in crossfire and killed, like my man, comedian Dre, back in the day, man, he got shot just being at a trying to go inside a club. You know, inside of a club, and they shot up the doorway and he was in it. So I mean, man, over the years it's gotten bad, it's gotten worse, you know, but like I said, me living in this city my whole entire life, growing up in the Wild Hundreds, being around violence, stuff like that, it was a norm to me. I've had friends in the neighborhood who's gotten killed, who I spoke to one day and here they dead the next day. You know what I'm saying? People who I was really close to, man, growing up. So I was never afraid of the city, never afraid to go anywhere in the city.
Right.
But I just make sure that, man, I just stay prayed up. I got a praying mama, grandmama, all that, man. Just, I'm anointed, brother. I'm you know what I'm saying? I'm very watched over. you know? And like I said, growing up as an older man, now just knowing thyself and changing the frequencies in my life, the universe doesn't even bring that around me. All this going on in the city, I'm away from it. Because I don't attract that to me. You know what I'm saying? You can easily attract the violence and all this negativity stuff going on, but it's all about how you living though. You know what I'm saying? It's what you putting out there, the energy and the frequencies you putting out that's going to attract that back to you. So I make sure that I'm good. Self is good.
Right.
You know, so good can come to me. But as I see on TV, I don't even watch the news anymore, man. It's just gotten ridiculous. These carjackings, man, stuff, all that. Now look, with the carjackings, man, they taking cars and stuff. You can't even drive nothing nice these days. I'm back at driving a hoopty now, like when I was broke and famous. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now let somebody ask me what you doing driving that carjacking. Yeah, that's what it is. You know? I don't even want to watch this motherfucker because these motherfuckers see anything shining, they taking it. You know what I'm saying?
I got robbed on the bus stop one time on North Avenue by a teenager. The walking, y'all don't give a damn about what's going on here with y'all kids, because this little teenager was bad when he robbed me on the bus stop. He was so bad when he finished robbing me on the bus stop, he didn't even run. He was on the same bus with me, just wait. Come on, baby, give me all your stuff. What kind of bus coming, you know? Because your watch is fast. Hey, man. You ain't gonna run, jog, skip, nothing. You gotta raise our kids. What the parents said out there? Raise your kids. These kids out here doing, kids out here think they grown. Don't kids think they grown? All the kids think they grown. Kids look grown now, don't they? When I was 11, I looked 11. These kids now got beards and muscles, walk around with little blunt cigars out their mouth, look all stressed out in the face. But these just little girls, I'm talking about these little girls. Yeah, it's that bad. You're like, hey, little girl, just make it the hell on out my face. I don't even know you, fam. Who you, man? Stranger danger. I don't even know you. You 30 years old. I'm a little girl. I'm 11. This don't even look right, sir. I am a girl. Stranger danger.
Nike or Adidas?
Ooh, Nike.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nike. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, Nike right there. Nike.
There
There you go. I forgot I had them on. Nike. Let me tell you about Nike real quick. The reason I like Nike, man, the first person I saw wear a pair of Nikes, I went to see this movie. I was in 4th grade. My dad took me, and we saw this movie called Flash Gordon. And Flash Gordon, man, that white boy wore the Nike. He was in outer space with Nikes on, nigga. Defender of the universe, saves every one of us. Flash. Man, because you remember the movie Ted with Mark Wahlberg and all that?
My girl just watched it last night.
Okay, so really?
Yeah, that's why I'm yawning. Dude, we was up late last night.
So you know the scene where they smoking and what? Nigga, that's me. When they smoking and watching Flash Gordon and stuff, they say that's they movie all time. Nigga, that's me. I watch Flash Gordon like all the time, dude. I might go home and watch that bitch tonight. But yeah, that's when I wanted that's when I wanted my first pair of Nikes, man. I wanted my Nike because Flash had them
watch
on.
it again to see that he was wearing the
check out he got the Nikes on, man. And I was like, yeah. So that was that. So
okay, I already know the answer to this one because you're from the South Side, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Harold's or Uncle Remus?
Oh man, come on, man. Let me tell you something. Harold's. Off the back, Harold's. I tried Uncle Remus to give it a shot.
It gave me diabetes, actually.
Man, that sauce is
sausage is too sweet.
It's syrup, man. It's syrup, you know. Yeah. So, and actually, they catered one of my on Heaven on 7. Remember the production we did? They catered one of the shooting days and stuff and all that because I mentioned them in the movie. That was the deal. Mention them in the movie, they'd get some food and all that. Harold's wasn't moving. I was like, nigga, I'm gonna mention y'all, man. Like, no, nigga.
Nah, we good.
Hey, we good. We good. We got 1,000 stores around the city. We all right.
You know what I'm saying? Talk to them other niggas. They stuck out west, right?
Talk to them sweet ass niggas over there. That sweet sauce niggas.
Sweet sauce.
Man.
Talk to them down.
But yeah, definitely Harold's, man. Definitely Harold's.
Okay, all right. Here's another one. Cigars or weed?
Man, Definitely weed. Cigar, man, my first time smoking a cigar was probably some years back, a few years back. Went to a cigar shop over there in Hyde Park.
Okay.
Hanging with my homie, man. And I'm a weed smoker.
Right.
Well, I don't smoke weed anymore. I did quit. I did, man. I quit after COVID. After COVID, the COVID knocked the weed. Cause like,
the nigga quiet.
man, cause you know they say it take 14 days to lose a habit, right?
Yeah.
I was sick for 15 of them days, so I didn't smoke weed. I didn't smoke weed none of them days. So when I healed, I don't miss it. I'm like, I'm done. I kicked the habit. Let me leave it alone. So, but during the time I was smoking weed, I know y'all niggas like, they're like, nigga, fuck what he talking about, nigga. But no, but first time I smoked a cigar, dude, I'm smoking that bitch like weed.
And they didn't tell you?
They didn't tell me, nigga. I'm like,
they did you dirty as hell.
no, they assumed I knew.
Oh.
It wasn't like, man, it's my first time, guys. No, they assumed I knew. I'm up there like, yeah, man, give me that motherfucker, nigga. What you do with it? Clip it, nigga. I'm on it now. I'm smoking that bitch, man. We all socializing, man. I'm doing the nigga. You know how in the cartoons. In the cartoons, they face turn purple from smoking a cigar and all that shit. That's how I felt, man. My stomach, everything. I was so sick, nigga. I was throwing off cigars. That was my first and last cigar ever. So weed, definitely, bro.
If you will indulge me, sir, allow me to bring you back to the fold.
I'd rather do it with somebody.
I can show you.
Yes.
I can guide you how the OGs guided me.
Okay.
We're gonna start you with a light cigar, a blondie.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd rather do that.
It's gonna be outside like this on the roof.
Cause I know you do your cigars. I know you do the
Yes.
cigars. All right.
Yes. See, you can't just give somebody a
Nigga,
cigar. It's like giving your teenager a Ferrari. Like, oh, you 16, you got the license, go ahead, look,
Right.
take the Ferrari.
Nigga, I was smoking that like a fat ass blunt, nigga. On that motherfucker. So yeah, so that fucked me up.
Yeah, you damn near died.
I did. Yeah. It was terrible.
Okay. City mouse or country mouse? Where would you rather be? You want to be in the burbs or would you rather live in the city?
Definitely the man. Well, the city. I would say the city.
Okay.
You know, the burbs is cool and everything, but the city, man, it's just, you know, I've experienced both. So I lived downtown Chicago for 7 years and stuff. I lived out in the south suburbs many years, man. But noisy as the city is and can be, and it's that, man, just the convenience of just being in the city. Because when you're in the burbs, you got to pack up and get ready to move, go to the city. We taking a trip to the city today. We're going to have food, restaurant, man. I was just walking out my front door, walking to the fancy restaurants and going over here and eating. It just all the activities, all the festivals that was going on in downtown. I was just outside my window, man. When they was doing the air and water show, planes flying past my high rise, just like at my window and shit, like, whoa, you know. Yeah, it just, yeah. So
I was looking the nigga dead in the eye when he flew past me with the Blue Angel.
Right, I got my.
He threw the race up. He was like, all right, nigga, good to see you.
So yeah, I enjoyed the city, man. I really enjoyed the city just because of the convenience, man, and the people and stuff like that. Suburbs is more laid back, chill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Neighborly stuff, like it was cool. You know, but I experienced both, but city.
Okay. All right, last one before we get up out of here. Are you a hot or a cold person? Like when you walk in the house, are you the person that always want the air on?
Ooh.
Are you the person that always like, yo, it's cold in here? Like, well, y'all ain't got the heat on? Who left the windows open?
Wow, that's crazy because I'm both. I'm like up and down though. You know what I'm saying? Because like I can be cold. But it's like, it's so crazy. Me and my lady, we always the opposite though. We all like, if I'm hot, she's cold.
Yeah, I think God just made it like
Yeah.
that. Like I've never been with a woman that was on the same frequency.
Never. So that puts me at both. But at the same time, like I said, I've been cold when I wanted to heat up, and I've been hot when I wanted the air on, but it was always a fight, you know what I'm saying? So I can't really choose because I'm on both sides of that coin.
It all depends on the day.
Exactly.
what do you want people to remember?
Oh well, man, the legacy. What I want people to remember, man, is just that I was a representative for my city. You know, Chicago. That's how I just want to just have, you know, just history of doing something for my city, and like I said, just that's by having movies that I produce, having, you know, help a lot of people get onto a platform to catapult them to another platform. You know, I just want to be remembered as that comedian, man, funny, creative, and always did what he said he was gonna do. You know, because anything I said I was gonna do, I did it. Even if I failed at it, I did it. One thing I'm not afraid to fail, and I failed many times. The thing is, just like I never was afraid to do it or try it, and I done it.
So you celebrated how many years now?
30 years. 30 years. This November will be 30 years in the game, bro. Yeah. So like I said, I've grown up in this game. Everything that's in my life right now has come along within my journey. You know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't bring anything into this path with me. You know what I'm saying? It's like everything of, like saying, marriage, children, relationships, everything come in within.
Within comedy.
Within comedy. Comedy's the first. It was my first love. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I would call my wife my mistress, you know, to my main, which is my comedy. My comedy's my wife, you know, so.
She's heard you say that before.
Yeah, I mean, she knows it, you know, and that's the thing. It's just it's a respect thing and believing, you know. Just you have to have someone who believes in you and the journey you're taking, who doesn't have to bring up that conversation of, you think about getting a 9 to 5 and all that. You know, that conversation never ever came up in my house, you know, because yes, because the belief in me of knowing what I can do. And even when there were down times, you know, financially, work was short and stuff like that, it's still just, you know, it never been brought up because it's just like, I've been known to get out of, you know, bad positions, out the hole and stuff like that. And it's always been my talent to pull me out.
Hey man, I appreciate you, bro. Like, for real, because what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to do some legendary shit.
I love it, man.
So I got to talk to the legends. Legendary. So man, it's your man L. I got B Cole out here. This is soul of comedy, bro. Y'all got the soul today.
Man, I appreciate you, L. Thank you for having me, brother. For real. Soul of comedy, man.